Hola, bom dia, meu nome é Stacey. Hi, my name is Stacey, and this is my project for 2025 entitled Environmental Justice Project 2025 Investigating Harvard's Land Grabs in Brazil. This project covers Harvard University's endowments and the effects of their land acquisitions in Brazil and how those investments have impacted the local communities and the local environment. The contents of this presentation will cover the introduction, so why I chose this case, the case summary, the environmental impacts, the community impacts, the legal and ethical impacts, the lessons learned, and the personal takeaways. So in the introduction, why did I choose this case? I chose this case because Harvard has been an unexpected player, and I thought that was really interesting to me because I would not have expected such a prestigious university to be involved in harming local communities so far away in even Brazil. This case also interested me because it highlights the implications of transnational deals. So the effects of decisions made here in the United States have affected the global South. In this case, this is going to be covering the implications in Brazil. And finally, there has been powerful resistance in Brazil from the local government, the local communities, and also other students and faculty that have been made aware of this case on Harvard grounds as well. And for me personally, I thought that this was interesting because I am friends with people of from Brazil, and also have friends who are from the particular region of Bahia. And so I thought that this was interesting to further investigate what could be going on in their own country. So for the case summary is this case is taking place in Piauí and Bahia, which is part of the Cerrado biome in Brazil. And also, this issue highlights Harvard's investments and how they've negatively impacted the local communities. So some of the effects of their investments include deforestation, water pollution, and the displacement of indigenous and local communities. And the key players are Harvard, local governments and local communities, and also NGOs, or non-government organizations. So the environmental impacts of these illegal land grabs for things like soybeans and sugarcane are deforestation, which can affect the ability for the Amazon to thrive. Also water contamination, causing illnesses to the local population and also wildlife, and biodiversity loss. So the community impacts include displacement. So a lot of local communities have been displaced and have to move elsewhere, which causes them to leave their ancestral ties in traditional communities, and it also interrupts their culture as well. It also leads to illnesses from contaminated water and failure to dispose of waste properly. Threats to their livelihood. So of course this impacts their ability to support their own communities financially and with food and water. The legal and ethical impacts include illegal land grabs, violation of traditional norms, and environmental racism. So my personal takeaways, for me, it was very shocking to think that a prestigious university like Howard University would be involved in such a harmful practice. It's not something that I would have thought would occur. Also, it highlights how these decisions that we make in places like the U.S. and the West can negatively impact the global South, which a lot of these cases do. As I looked at the research and tried to pick a case that I wanted to further expand on, I did notice a lot of these situations, these cases occurred in communities, especially with brown communities and Black communities, which was especially alarming for me. Despite knowing the harm that they cause, Harvard continues to make these investments, and they have shown no intention of stopping. And finally, some of the lessons learned. Now, in 2020, the Brazilian government found that 200,000 acres of farmland was acquired illegally, but as of 2025, there has been no acknowledgement, accountability, or commitment to divest from Harvard University. People, companies, and organizations should think of the ethics of their investments. And then also activist groups and local communities in the region continue to demand the university cease these practices and return the land appropriately. So these are some of the things that we would like to see happen in order to bring justice to the local communities and try to maintain and restore and preserve the local environment as well. And finally, here's a page of all the resources that were used in this project. Thank you.